What's your take on this whole, we didn't do anything wrong, it's not our fault, the podcast went on for an hour and a half, and they didn't really admit one mistake?
Okay, it's like the New York Jets. You guys follow the football, nobody did anything wrong, and they're 3-8. Look, Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. She reminded me of John Kerry. Remember John Kerry running for president? Just didn't connect with any of the folks. She was a very far left, the most far left presidential candidate in history. And we didn't know it until 3 weeks ago tonight. Americans don't want that. They don't want biological men playing sports against girls. They don't want punishing taxation toward those who are successful in the marketplace. They don't want 14 million foreign nationals running around unattended in the country. They don't want any of this, all right? And Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they engineered all of that crazy stuff. In addition, all you have to do, if you're really fair, and of course partisan political players on both sides are not fair. Fairness is the furthest thing from their mind. All you have to do is analyze the Bret Baier interview on Fox. So Baier was allowed to get, I think, 9 questions in the 21 minutes that he had. Only a 21-minute interview. They had a clock on it, and Kamala's people, probably some that were in that podcast, were going, "Oh, right, cut. You know, why? She's there, talk to Baier." Out of the 9 questions, she didn't answer one. Not one. So even the dimmest American, even the people who have no blanket idea what's going around them, they go, how come she won't answer any questions? Bad candidate. That's why she lost.
Yeah, and I think they came back and said they were like dumb questions or something like that. And just watching the podcast with her leadership team, it seems like they lost touch in a sense with regular Americans. I mean, building up the, the
They never had touch with regular Americans. Brian, they never had touch with regular Americans. If you live in a progressive bubble, a Los Angeles, Manhattan, Washington, D.C. bubble, you don't know anything about the folks. And the same thing on the right. If you live in this unbelievable, narrow caste where every Democrat is bad, everything on the other side is evil, you don't have touch with the folks. The folks want common sense. They want lower prices in the grocery store. Ms. Harris, the vice president, couldn't explain why the prices went up. She couldn't explain how she was going to bring them down. She would say things like, I'm going to get the price gougers. Well, how, madam? How are you going to do that in a capitalist society? Never explain. Very bad candidate.
I want to play you another clip, Bill. This is from the same podcast. They accused Trump of even doing something illegal. Take a listen to this.
And he had an army of super PACs that were so coordinated. I'm sure there's some legal way they were coordinated, but like...
I'm sure it was legal.
Yes, right. Yeah. Or illegal. Yes.
Okay, so they say an army of super PACs, but then at the same time, we know they spent $1.5 billion, maybe $2 billion. Is there really a difference? I had a buddy of mine saying, oh, but Elon gave so much money in Pennsylvania, but it wasn't the same thing happening on the other side, too?
Both had enough money to do whatever they wanted to do. When you give $500,000 to Al Sharpton, and NBC doesn't even know you gave it to him, and then he goes on MSNBC and interviews Kamala Harris with the biggest cupcakes you've ever seen. When that happens, I don't think you want to bring up any corruption. When you're giving Oprah $2.5 million for Harpo, her production company, for a day, it was like a spa day with Kamala and Oprah. Let's go to the spa. Let's get our nails done. And I know I'm going to be accused of being a misogynist, whatever, but that's what it was like. $2.5 million. Come on. And then you're sitting around a table going, Trump had an army of people. So ridiculous. I hope people see the absurdity of all of this.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.